Hey everybody, I'm Jason O'Phil, and welcome to Quarantine Week 2, Day 3. Oh my god. About an hour ago, the mayor of Los Angeles did an interview and he essentially said he expects the city to stay locked down until May, if not longer. How is everybody doing? As you know, I'm Jason O'Phil. You can follow me here on all the social media. And if you do like these videos, you can subscribe to this channel. And I recommend turning on the notification button because I don't make videos that are exactly always children friendly. And because they're not all children friendly, you don't get notified about them anymore. I feel like
You locked me in my room.
I get you, girl. I get you. And you know what I'm really going to hope happens when this is all done? I hope this is my exact feeling as well.
You took everything from me.
I don't even know who you are.
You will.
Never have I felt closer to a comic book character in my entire life than I do to you, Wanda. Completely. How has everybody's week been so far? Is everybody else having fun? Have we started doing any of the things we discussed, watching any of those movies, TV shows? I did get a request from viewer The Batman to watch Darth Shard's episode 1. He wants a review and a reaction, so I'll be bringing that to you by the end of this week. I'm looking forward to it. I did not do Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring extended cut the other night like I thought I would. Instead, I ended up watching the remake or the reboot or the whatever it is of Charlie's Angels, the 2019 film that basically came and whimpered away pretty quickly because it's not very good. And we're going to discuss why. First of all, as you well know, the new Charlie's Angels was directed by Elizabeth Banks, who I personally love. It stars Kristen Stewart. It stars Naomi Scott, who we all fell in love with as Jasmine in Disney's remake, retrend, whatever, of Aladdin. Another young lady whose name I don't really remember at this moment, and Patrick Stewart. So you get a cast of fairly recognizable, both older and younger and upcoming names, and then you make this film. One of the criticisms that was thrown the way of the film when it didn't do so well is the fact that we're all sexist. I really think that's a broad statement. I think sexism is a thing that does exist, so we're not going to debate that at all. But maybe the film's just not very good. I remember seeing the first two Charlie's Angels when they came out. I actually saw the first one in a bunch of numerous test screenings, and it was fun. I thought Crispin Glover was weird, and it was my first introduction really kind of to Sam Rockwell, who I started to fall in love with after that film. And I thought Lucy Liu maybe was the best angel out of all three of them, and you could feel the tension between her and Bill Murray because supposedly they hated each other. But outside of just remember this weird wire food that they kept on doing because it was popular at the time, I don't remember really liking the film. Outside of it releasing a really cool Destiny's Child song. Actually, Destiny's Child was never a thing. Beyonce was a thing. Destiny's Child just happened to be the thing that was holding her back. And when I saw Full Throttle, the only thing I could think about in that was who did Demi Moore's plastic surgery work, because it was flawless. But I don't remember those movies. I mean, I remember Justin Theroux was in the second one and was hot as hell. But yeah, I don't remember anything about them. It was really never a franchise I was clamoring for. Maybe it isn't that people are sexist. Maybe it's the fact that as a property, it's just not very good. It's kind of like the remake they did this last year of Fantasy Island, which also wasn't very good. It's a brilliant premise to turn Fantasy Island into a horror film, but it's just not a very good horror film. It's not scary, it's fairly predictable, and Lucy Hale is not believable as the villain. Sorry, spoiler alert. It's not that you can't take a 60s or 70s nostalgic show and update it for now. You can, but for the most part, what happens is you don't want to update it. You want to hold on to some of the nostalgia. So you kind of try to placate the people who love the show, and then you try to placate people who've never seen the show who are now going to watch this. And you really kind of don't win in the end. I think one of the rare occasions of a film series that has been made from a show that was super old is The Addams Family, especially Addams Family Values. I mean, I still quote that movie to death. So good. Wednesday is my spirit animal, especially right now. She's really my spirit animal right now. She might be a lot of people's spirit animal right now. Even the Addams Family animated movie, which adheres closer to the cartoon, how it looked as opposed to the live action incarnations of it is fairly fun. It's not terrible. But something about this particular, reboot of a franchise just rang hollow. I found it fairly boring. I found it fairly predictable. I didn't think the action was very inspired. And I thought the best thing about the film was that Kristen Stewart seemed to be finally having a good time. Maybe her coming out was really what was freeing for her on the big screen. Because I would say she's given some really beautiful performances since Twilight. There's no beautiful performance in Twilight from anybody. Those movies. I had the church giggles in the first one, which is the one where Taylor Lautner is like stripping off all of his clothes and he tells Bella's dad he has like this secret he has to tell him that's like deep inside of him. And it was such a gay allegory, and I just started just having the church giggles in the entire theater. I just couldn't stop. Taylor Lautner's already being accused that he's a homosexual, which is unfair because, I don't think anybody in the media should be questioning anybody's sexuality. That's for them to tell you. It's their story, not yours. But at the time, it was like a story, and so then you were watching the film, and that thing was happening, and the allegory, and I just was like, I can't take any of this movie seriously. I can't take any of them seriously. They're all terrible. They're terrible examples for young ladies. Them in 50 Shades of Grey. Ugh. So I felt like nobody was clamoring for this film. It's a great premise. It's a great idea. I think there should be more movies like this, showing strong female characters that are not spending the entire time talking about men and don't need men to save the world or their problems. I think that's a really strong message. But I feel like maybe this wasn't the film to do it. And it's also such a heavy-handed message inside this film that I think it's another reason why people were turned off. I don't think anybody, male or female, gay or straight, really wants to be preached to. I know as a gay male, I can't stand LGBTQ films that preach to me that the most important thing in the film is the fact that the characters are gay. I don't care that the characters are gay. I think it's the least interesting thing about anybody is your sexuality. You as a person is the most interesting thing about you. And when you make films where all we do is focus on this is what we need to focus on, they're gay, or this is what we need to focus on, they're empowered women. Because you can do that without bashing that message over the head of anybody in the theater. And I also will say that the critics probably just had their knives sharpened the entire time for this film because it is Charlie's Angels and Kristen Stewart, she's not exactly a critical darling. But I felt like a lot of the lobbied criticism towards this film is accurate. It's just meh. It's not that great. And I think it's unfair to assume that audiences didn't go see it because we're sexist. We didn't go see it because it didn't look good. And it wasn't good. End of story. It's not like superhero films. People will go see superhero films whether they're good or bad. There are plenty of horrible superhero films. I am looking at you, Batman v Superman, and Justice League, and Suicide Squad. Birds of Prey wasn't terrible. It was a lot of fun. But once again, empowering females where the message isn't beaten over your head 24/7, I think is a reason why that movie works so well. It could have been not subtle at all, because I would say that Harley Quinn is not a subtle character. But I thought that film did a really good job of building the female dynamic in such a way that when they come together at the end, it felt earned. In a nutshell, I think you can make a movie that is for a particular audience type that's looking for that film and hungry for that film. I feel that female audiences are hungry to see their stories on screen, just like myself as a gay male am hungry to see my story on screen and done well, not done pandering, not done in a way that, beats everything over the head, just done as reality, that this is just what is happening in the room and it's okay and it's just part of your world, I guess, to steal a line from Ariel. I have to give Elizabeth Banks a lot of credit for, directing this, writing it, producing it, pouring her heart into it. But even the best intentions can have bad outcomes. And I would argue that this was the best intention and it just did not have the best outcome for this particular franchise. Well, everybody, I am Jason O'Phil. Once again, here's all the social media you can follow me on. I hope everybody is having a really, really good week. I have to tell you, just to be honest, I had not a great day yesterday. I actually filmed this video and I wasn't very happy with it. And as I said at the beginning, there's never going to be a video that I'm going to put out that I'm not happy with, but I also was just kind of having a day. Doing these videos, I love conversing with all of you and the feedback that I get, and it just makes me super excited. And as I always say, it doesn't matter who you are or what you love or believe in. If you're coming to this channel, it's because I want to have fun with you and you want to have fun here. So be kind to one another when you're out there. Be kind to the people that you see from a distance clearly right now. Just be kind. We're all going through it right now, and we're all going to be better. I really believe that. All right, everybody. I will see you guys next time. Bye.